Hello students, good morning. Welcome to the first lecture for today, that is English lecture, English class for grammar. And as we have done day before yesterday, we have done subject verb agreement, and we have done till 15 rules. Subject verb agreement I shall revise one more time verbally only. That subject verb agreement is the agreement or the combination or the concord between subject and the verb. As we all know that to sentence a group of words to be called a sentence, we need to have a subject and the verb in accordance, in its combination, in its perfect match, rather we can say, right? And subject, we all know, it is something which we talk about, or about who or what we talk about, or subject is the doer of a sentence. So that is why we need action or action words or the vocabulary verbs to create a complete grammatically correct sentence, right? And that is why we have seen so many rules. The first thing which we all should revise one more time is that if a subject is singular, it will take a singular verb. If the subject is plural, it will take a plural verb. Clear? As we make plurals by adding s or es, as we all know. But then what happens? There is a difference that we have seen last time also, that when we add s or es, the nouns becomes plural, but when we add s or es to the verbs, to the main verbs, they become singular. So s should be either on the verb or on the subject. If the s or es is with noun or on the noun, the verb will not have s or es. If s or es is not with noun, then verb will carry s or es. This is a simple rule we should follow, right? Okay, so we have, in the last class we have seen till 15. Now we shall begin from 16th rule of subject verb agreement. What is the 16th rule? When the fractions are used, the verb agrees to the object of the phrase. Now phrase also we all know. What is a phrase? Phrase is something which does not have subject, which and does not have a verb of itself. It gives you incomplete sentence. So it's a phrase. Okay. For example, 1/2 of the cake was consumed. Now 1/2 of the cake was consumed. Now this object cake is nearer to the verb. That is why it is taking singular verb. Is that clear? Now the second example. 1/4 of the employees. Now employees is the word of that phrase which is nearer to the verb. That is why the verb becomes plural. Clear? So that is why this rule says when the fractions are used in the verb, the verb are used, the verb agrees with the object of that phrase. What is coming after? Like you remember, you must be remembering one thing we have discussed. One of the boys, we have discussed this in length that time also, that one of the boys or one of the flowers or one of the schools, but here one is used. That is why we will not take the plural verb, but we will take the singular verb. It is just opposite to it. When the fractions are used, the verb agrees with the object of the phrase. What is that object we are talking about? What is the last word or the last noun in that phrase? According to that, we will use choose the verb, maybe it's singular or plural. Yes, the next rule quickly. 17th rule. Okay, children. Now this is something which, when we read it, it may sound singular. It may sound plural. These nouns may be singular or plural in the meaning. For example, athletics, genetics, politics, gymnastics, statistics. When the noun refers to an organized activity, it is singular. When the noun refers to the activities of individual in a group or to varied activities, it is plural. Now how it goes, like when we talk about an activity in general, it takes a singular verb. Like gymnastics is popular among girls, or gymnastics is very good for your physical health, or gymnastics gives you the agility to move very swiftly. So now this this gymnastics, when we talk about as a organized activity, as one activity, it will take a singular verb. On the contrary, the gymnastics shown in the field today. Now here we are talking about different activities in the gymnastics category. So when we are talking about different activities in the gymnastics category, that time it will take plural verb. The gymnastics shown in the field today were outstanding. Now when we are using were here, it automatically hits our minds that okay, fine, I mean it's not about one gymnastic as a whole, but different, like we have yoga. In yoga you have different asanas. Okay, so when we talk about different asanas in yoga, so it will become different activities of an individual. So in that way we will use plural verb. 18th, the name of the country is always regarded as singular. This we must take care. There are few countries which are termed or which are pronounced as plural, like Bahamas, Philippines, in this manner, but they are always singular. 19. Adjectives used as nouns are considered plural. Now, adjectives used as nouns. What does that mean? You might have heard, for example, table, fan, laptop, desktop. So here, lap is a noun, desk is a noun, but here it is using, this noun is being used as an adjective. Why? Because it is showing, it is describing what type of computer you are using, what type of I mean, if the computer which is kept on the lap, it will be a laptop. So lap here, though it's a noun, it will become adjective. If we say desktop, okay, so desk is a noun, but still it will be taken as adjective. Table, fan. So the fan which is kept or which is used keeping on the table, so that table becomes adjective. In this manner, we say adjectives used as nouns or nouns used as adjective. Now here, the poor are to be helped. The efficient are what this country needs. Okay, now here it is the contrary to it. It is adjectives which are used as noun. Here, poor is an adjective, efficient is an adjective, right? So the poor, when we use adjectives as noun, because see, this is a word play. You know, at times adjective becomes, they play as noun, nouns they play as adjective. It could interchange. So when adjectives are used as noun, they are considered plural. For example, the poor. Now here the poor is singular. I mean, as in as the word we see. But here we talk about as a whole class, as a whole community. Okay, and this is an adjective. Efficient is an adjective. So in this manner, when we use adjectives as nouns, then they take plural verb, because when we use such adjectives in a noun manner or in a form of noun, we are talking about the community, the class. The 20th rule is collective nouns. Now I hope you know what are collective nouns. Collective nouns is a group or is a total whole class taken together as collectively. Like we say army. Army becomes group of soldiers. Constellation, group of stars. In this way, crowd, group of people. Bouquet, you know, or a bunch of flowers. When flowers put together, it becomes a bouquet. So in this way, so collective nouns may be singular or plural depending on whether the individual member are acting individually or collectively. Now here it may so happen that we can, suppose if we talk about community, or we can talk about a committee. So committee, we can talk as a whole committee, that means all the members put together, or we can even say that we can even talk about each member of the committee. When it happens, what will happen? Let's see. Collective nouns may be singular or plural depending on whether the individual members are acting individually or collectively. These nouns are company, group, committee, crowd, jury, folk, team, in this way. Like naturally, all these collective nouns are made of living beings, human beings. So naturally, we may talk about individual and we may talk about as a whole. Examples: the committee is against the plan. Now, when we talk about the committee is against the plan, that means it is clearly understood that all the members of the committee is acting as collective noun, or all the members are collectively disagreeing to the plan. The second example, the committee are of different opinions. When we use are here, irrespective of the further words, or we don't have to add any other word to it, what will happen? Immediately we understand that, okay, the committee are of different means each individual is acting personally here. I mean, each individual is putting their opinions. Okay, so this way is an R can make a difference with our understanding, with our notions that, okay, fine, if we say committee is, group is, team is, means we talk about all the members collectively. But team are or group are, then it becomes, we talk about the separate or the individual person in that group. Okay, children, this is 21st. What is this 21st rule says? In the use of mathematical expressions, the following are accepted. What are the mathematical expressions then? Look at it now. 7 plus 3 is 10. 7 and 3 are 10. 5 times 2 are 10. And 5 minus 2 is 3. Now here, why is 3 R? Because now see, here it becomes 7 and 3. They becomes the 7 and 3 and 3. They become the plural subject. They give us the idea of plural subject. Okay, so that is why we use R and like plus. So it is nothing like we are not making that subject into plural. So that is why it will become singular. Is it clear to you? So that is why 7 and 3. So 7 and 3, that means two individual numbers are coming together, or they are making a plural subject, and that is why we have used are there. Clear? 5 times, that means we have to add or we have to club together 5 times the same thing. That's why we will get. So it will become the plural subject. Clear? 25th. The titles of the books, plays, articles, movies, etc. are regarded as singular, even though words in the title may be plural. Okay, the name of books, plays, articles, movies, etc. Though their titles are plural, but still, I mean, has s or es, but still they are considered as singular, because we talk about only one book, one movie, one article, or one play. For example, great expectations. Great expectations. If we use this term normally, then of course it will be plural. But then it's the name of a novel, so that is why it is termed as singular. Clear? Twenty-third rule. Name of organizations take a singular verb when the whole organization is referred to, and a plural verb when the members are referred to. It is somewhat same. Okay, we talk about organizations, but earlier also we have seen like committee, group, team, or we can say, and similarly like organizations. So the same rule follows. If we talk about as an organization on the whole, it will take singular. If we talk organization as the members separately, then it will become plural. Lopez and Sons is a successful organization. Lopez and Sons is a successful organization, because here we talk about as an organization on the whole. Lopez and Sons are holding a 2-day annual meet. Okay, that means here these people are holding. It is not the organization which is holding. Okay, as we all know, organizations are at times named on the person's own name only, or on the name of their family members. So here, when we talk about Lopez and Sons successful organization, it means we're talking about the organization. But when we talk about Lopez and Sons are holding a 2-day annual meeting, then it is these people, Lopez and his sons. So that is why our plural verb is used here. 24th. If a sentence begins with the expletive it, the verb is always singular even if the subject that follows is plural. Whenever a subject begins with it, generally, it is used for the explanative purpose. It is the school which must assume the responsibility. It is the schools. Okay, so schools, though it is the schools, it is beginning, the sentence is beginning with expletive it, the verb is always singular even if the subject that follows is plural in number. Clear? It is us who must take care of the environment. It is us who must take care. Now here we can understand must take care. It is a modal verb. That is why it will not change anyway. But in this manner, we should understand that if the sentence is beginning with it, doesn't matter what the subject follows is a singular or a plural, but the verb will always be plural too. Okay, children, so here we have come for test your skills. Look at these sentences quickly. What the question says: choose the correct form of the verb that agrees with the subject. We will take first 5 quickly or first 4 quickly, because I will be uploading the same this exercise, this worksheet otherwise also, because then we have to study transitive and intransitive verbs also. Okay, so Annie and her brother, Annie and her brothers is, are at school. Which verb will agree? Either my mother or my father is, are coming to the meeting. The dog or the cat is or are outside. Either my shoes or your coat is, again, the choice, are always on the floor. Have you got it? Okay, let's. First will be are. Either my mother or my father. It's a choice given, so it will be only one person, one subject. So it is. The dogs or the cats. It is also choice, but the nearer to the verb is cats. So plural verb. Then either my shoes or your coat. Now here the singular is nearer to the verb. Singular subject is near to the verb, so it is on the floor. Okay, children? Understood? Got it? Now we shall move towards transitive and intransitive verbs. Okay, so here on your screens you can see the title as transitive verbs and intransitive verbs. This is the next segment to the verbs category only. As we have seen, not many verbs is MR and S and without S and this and that. Now see what are transitive and intransitive verbs are. Right? What are transitive and intransitive verbs? Transitive verbs are those verbs which or the actions of those words are transferred to someone. As I told you before, if you remember, when we have started with subject and the predicate, I told you so many times that predicate contains the verb and its result on on any object, or it may not have any result on any object, right? So if the verb has its result, then it will be termed as transitive. If the verb does not show any result, it is just done or said, then it is intransitive. Transitive, when the result is transferred, when the action is transferred and received by something or someone. A very simple example I will give you. Okay. uh, Students uh, play football. Students play football. Now here agreement is also coming. S is with students, so verb will be without S. So students play football. Is this playing action have been gained by something? Is there any action? The result is shown through this action. If I say students play what will be your answer? Football, right? So when you got this object, okay, children. So when this object you receive, that time the verb becomes transitive, because when students are playing something, it has been some result is coming out. But if I say students play on the ground, so students play what? You don't get, you will understand this, don't worry. It is just what I'm trying to build up the scenario, the scene, what we are going to do next about with the verbs, right? There are two sentences I just now spoke. One, I said students play football. Second sentence which I said, students are playing on the ground. Clear? Both sentences are complete in its sense. But when I ask a question to play in the first sentence, that is students play football. If I ask what to the verb, students play what? Football. You get an object. So that will be transitive verb. Whereas in the second sentence, when I say students are playing on the ground, when I say students are playing what? Do you get any answer? No, you don't. So in such cases, the verbs will be intransitive. Means though the action is being done, but it is not transferred or it is not received by any verb, any object. Now let's see what happens. So the topic is transitive verbs and intransitive verbs. Okay, what are the transitive verbs? We will see first. Transitive verbs, my sister broke the window. I mean, of course, the glass maybe or whatever, but my sister broke the window. Now, my sister broke what? Did you get the answer? The window. That means that action, breaking action has been received by the window and window is now completely destroyed. In the first sentence, the word that comes before the verb, window, in the first sentence, listen to me very carefully. In the first sentence, the word that comes after the verb is window, is an object of the verb, because it is showing some action being received by that window. Okay, we say that the window is the object because it receives the action of the verb, and that action is done by whom? By my sister. So naturally it has a doer, it has a verb, and then something has been done, something is resulted out of that action. Okay, some result has come, that okay fine, my sister has broken. That broken what? The window. You can see that broken window. Okay, so window is an object because it receives the action of the verb. All the objects of the verb, listen to it carefully again. All the objects of the verbs receives the action of the verb. If there is an object, it will receive. Suppose, for example, if I say the hunter hunted a lion. So that hunting action has been received by the lion because now lion is dead. Clear? So the hunter hunted what? The lion. In this manner, when the verb has its receiver, we call it as an object. And how to find out whether the sentence has an object or not, or the verb has an object or not, is simply by asking a question, what? The hunter or a hunter hunted what? The lion. So you immediately get the answer. Is that clear? Okay, here are some more examples of transitive verbs. And if the verb has an object, if the verb's action is being received by the object, then the verb is termed as transitive verb. Now, why are we studying right now randomly? No, it is not random, because when we study active passive, in the later stages, you will need this verb. You will have to remember and recall that what are objects, what is intransitive, what is transitive verb, what are objects, how to identify objects. Okay, let's see. I sold some books. I sold what? Some books. So naturally you get the answer. Sold has an object, so it is transitive verb. I took the bus. I took what? A bus, the car, a pen, a book, or a copy. What? I took the bus. So bus is the object. That is why took is a transitive verb. I understood her question. I understood what? I understood her question. What she was asking. I understood that. Okay, so her question is an object. That is why understood is transitive verb. I wrote a letter. I wrote what? A letter. Wrote has an object. My writing action has been received. Some result has come out of that writing action. So a letter will become an object to the verb wrote, which is transitive. When a verb has an object that receives the action of the verb, we say that the verb is transitive. Transitive verbs are more common, are more commonly used than the intransitive verb. But many students get confused about intransitive verbs because, of course, transitive, so you can find out whether the verb has the object or not by asking a question: who, what, whose, whom. Clear? Let's see the next slide. What is? Yes. My father cried. A child cried. A child cried what? Do you get anything? If I ask what to cry, do you get any answer? No, you don't. So we can see in this sentence that there is no word after cried, which is receiving the action of crying. In other words, there is no object of the word or of the verb. So there is no noun to receive the action of the word. Think about it. What would you say? My father cried for something. My child or a child cried for something. Is there a noun that we could use after cried? We would probably think of one or two nouns like tears or even goodbye, but normally we don't use the verb cry with an object. Okay, so there are a few words which are not used with object. There are few verbs which are not used with object. In this case, we say that the verb is intransitive. Why intransitive? Because the action is not being transferred. The action is not received by any noun or any object. Clear? So in this case, we can say that the verb is intransitive because it does not have an object after it. Let's see some more example. I slept. I slept what? Do you get any object? No. So that is why the verb slept is intransitive. I coughed. No object. No noun to receive the action. That is why it is intransitive. The glass fell. The glass fell. The glass fell. Then fell what? Fell whom? Fell whose? Nothing. No answer. That is why it will be intransitive verb. My cat ran. Intransitive. The sun rose. Intransitive, because there is no object to receive. We shall quickly take up some verbs, and you have to tell quickly. Run, live, throw, sell, eat, result, feed, exit, make, follow. What are these verbs? TV means transitive verb. IN means intransitive verb. Now you have got new abbreviation for TV. It's transitive verb, not television. Okay? Have you got the answer? Can you think which verbs can be used with object further? Suppose, for example, I eat a cake. I feed my little brother every day. So I feed what? My little brother. I eat what? Cake. In this manner. Quickly. TV or NA? IN. Transitive verbs or intransitive? Check. Can you add some verb? Sorry, an adjective, subject here and the object here. Okay, let's see. Wherever you can see VT, it's verb that is transitive. Throw, we can use with subject and the object both. If I use its past tense, I can say he threw a ball. He threw what? A ball. So it will be transitive. Verb is transitive. Throw verb is transitive. Sell, the shopkeeper, the shops or the shop sells all the commodities. It will be transitive verb. Eat will be transitive verb. Feed will be transitive verb, as I told you. Make will be transitive because we make something. We get result. Something is received after doing the making action. Follow. Okay. And VI, verbs which are intransitives. Run, live, result, exit. These all are intransitives, which will not have any object or something on the receiving end. Is that clear, children? I hope you have understood subject, verb, agreement, transitive and intransitive verbs in depth, in detail, clearly. Tomorrow we shall take up writing skills. So be ready with your pen and notebook. Thank you very much and have a very, very good day ahead.